Alright, so here we go, testing. This is a test for video and audio for Tech Easy. Just doing a test to see how my GoPro is shooting and how the audio is working. I have some music running in the background because I like to listen to music while I'm working on things, but at the same time I want you guys to be able to hear me clearly. So I'm just running a test right now to see what we can get done here. So anyways, right here we've got an Apple aluminum body MacBook 2008 model non-pro. It's the only aluminum unibody that they made that was a non-pro. Real short series. They only made it for 1 year. I wouldn't say rare, but they're not real common, so they're still valuable. They're still pretty much as powerful as a MacBook Pro. Have a 9400M graphics card with 256 RAM. The main difference is no backlit keyboard and no FireWire ports. So anyways, just going to show a couple things here really quick. These are the tools I usually use. Got some Craftsman screwdrivers, Phillips flathead. Mostly you're going to be using the Phillips for these jobs. Every once in a while you might need a flathead, but you need to have a fine set. Really small heads, as all the screws in MacBooks are very small. Usually better quality screwdrivers are better, otherwise you'll either script the screwdriver or the screws themselves. So you do want to take some care with that. The other thing too, this right here is called a pentalobe screwdriver. It's a 5-star head. This is kind of a specialty. You use this for MacBook Air, some of the MacBook Airs, and some of the newer MacBook Pro, the newer models. Not very often you need this, but if you ever need this in one of the jobs that I'm going to shoot video of, I'll make sure to let you know, and I'll provide a link to where you can purchase one. Normally something like this has to be purchased online unless you live in a large city where they might carry something, but the 5-star pentalobe is actually kind of a Apple product, or not product, but an idea. So they got pants and stuff on it. So anyways, let's do a couple things here really quick. So I'm going to flip this over. Normally I wouldn't put it on the lid, except it's got a spec protective case on it. So I'm just going to flip it over, pull the bottom off here. And so right here, as you can see, we've got screws here, 4 along the back. This is only on the aluminum MacBook unibody. Any of the Pros are going to have 10 screws, 4 along the back, 4 along the front, and 1 on each side. So the MacBook aluminum unibodies had a removable. It's got a little switch here. You click that, opens up a little panel that gives you access to actually a removable battery. Apple decided that was a bad idea. And then your hard drive, which is also removable from right there. However, you'd have to pull an adapter off to get to it. So anyways, I'm just going to try a couple things here really quick. I'm going to grab my Phillips screwdriver here and undo a couple screws just to make sure that these are seen good in the video. One of my other really good friends here, ice cube tray. I highly recommend using one of these if you are tearing apart a MacBook. The reason being, there's a ton of small screws of all sorts of different shapes and sizes on MacBooks. The good thing about these, there's several compartments here. What I like to do is, as I'm tearing things apart, I'll kind of group screws that are, like on this one, there's 4 screws here along the back. I know all 4 of these screws go to the back, so I pull those and put those in one. As I'm tearing it down further, I'll put the next batch of screws in here. The reason being is, again, there's all sorts of different sizes and stuff, so you don't want to put the wrong size screw into a hole, or you might screw something up or strip something out. So the nice thing about these, there's lots of them, because in some of these steps you're going to see there's several groups of screws you have to tear apart depending on what job we're doing. So the nice thing here is that if you consider this to be, group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, etc. Once we get to the end, when it's time to put everything back, you just reverse the order that you put everything in. So now some of these steps are still going to have different size screws within the same bin, so you need to make a mental note, or I will explain which size screws go in the holes during my videos, but just things to keep in mind. So again, I'm going to put this case back on here, flip this back over. I'm going to stop this test and see how it sounds.